Okay, so basically, we are back to the game. I kind of finished with my break. I had some stuff to do, kind of complicated. Mm, Anyways, new patch, new stuff. How can I say this? I'm very interested in how a new player would play right now, considering everything that I looked over like in the past month is not good enough, at least spec wise. Like the old spec is not viable anymore, but it's still viable, kind of, sort of.
Blade masters are balanced
Well, at
bodies.
least my personal build is not
Kung fu
viable
ma-
anymore, considering I was running
Kung fu
2
masters
on
are
fire and F on wind, making it a hyper build, if I can say so. Anyways, now it's more like fire only, wind only, and it's amazing. Like the changes on the core level for the spells are mind blowing. You get like full fledged, pointed, as in spec'd up abilities right off the bat. It's amazing. It's mind blowing. It's mind blowing. The best thing that could happen to KFM is your 2 spell and your QE spell for now. Like, there are multiple things that are like amazing, like your V is amazing. Your block is pretty much the same, but like your V is amazing. Your 4 is amazing, as in Comet Strike. Your 2 is mind blowing, and your QE is just it is a beast. Now, getting into the game, I will show you what I'm trying to say with that. Okay, so I put on my actual costume and everything because I had too much on my screen. This is the new UI, and this is what you will be using for like the rest of eternity or until people will change stuff. On your left we have the various specs, for example stun days, whatever, so it's easier for you to find and respec when you need to. You have your fire, actually flame build tab on there, and like it switches around. um, Fun fact, you can switch to fire, like actually full-fledged fire at chapter 17. For example, you have your various spells in this tab with the name and the icon next to it that represents the button, or you can have your like traditional icon view like this. I personally prefer this one. It's easier to find stuff. I got used to this one. So we have 2 new spells. The 55 spells. They theoretically are OP as fuck. Practically do not know, did not try them. So we still need to reach the 55s to actually try them on. They should be really, really good. Now, back to everything else. Stuff got moved around. Shinkik is not on 3 anymore, it's on 2. Now, considering the fact Shinkik is on 2 and the fact that you learn to really early, if you can see level 4, you can learn Shinkik at level 4. In other words, oh yeah, PvP, considering now it's a 2RF regardless of PvE or PvP, everyone will be good at PvP. Just saying. And the PvPers will be good at PvE. The only requirement that is needed to get into the actual fun fact 3RF combo is level 13 to get your Cyclone Kick. It is a level 13, so you will be playing without the Shin Kick until you hit 13. But regardless of that, it's a fun. Another thing, Swift Strike, Swift Strike is instant. You know, you had to farm like a chilling flame to get the, you know, buff, the thing that made KFM, the instant F on 2 hit, not crit. Yeah, basically you get it for free now. It's for free. You just, yeah, it's super broken. Just look at it. Ready, cyclone kick on hit. It's on hit. It's amazing. It's so easy right now. They lowered the difficulty on the class by so much. You don't need to learn 2 combos. You just need to learn 1 for PvP and PvE. You don't need to like remaster your hand position and whatnot for swapping from one and another. And just so you know, macros are good for both right now, considering you just need 1 macro button for both. Just saying, for people that do macros. Just saying. What else? Everything else is like basically the same. Didn't change anything too drastically. There are some spells that are better, some spells that are the same. Nothing much changed DPS wise, for example, at least for what I noticed. Um, at least on various values. Rising Dragon is like a lower level. The QNE is amazing. I'm gonna like show you actually how QNE works right now. The rest of it is like pretty much the same. I checked everything. It's not too different. Um, there are some big changes on the Comet Strike, but nothing too nothing dramatic. You got an aggro buff on Comet Strike. That is kind of good. Also kind of OP, but still. But still, Cyclone Kick is your bay, and you right now are in like KFM heaven because Swift Strike is on hit, not critical. And you have your Shin Kick as well on too. So that's just amazing. I'm just amazing. So basically this is the QE change. Now check this out. Isn't it amazing? It's oh okay, come on, hit me. Do your best. Oh, so good. It's so broken. You got so much survivability right now. Like I'm level what 12? And I'm able to fight a lot of people at the same time without actually dying. It's good. It's just good. Now my Z gives me HP back as my full Z would. Full side frame. It's not as in the CC spec, but whatever. My QE gives me invulnerability and movement speed bonus. It's oh my god. Come on, seriously. And my 3 is an AoE cleave, like the big AoE cleave, right off the bat. It's so good. It's just perfect. Nothing to say about that. In the meantime, I stopped at level 15 to fight Pokey, just to see how tanking would work, and I mean, did not feel any difference between my high level character and this one. It was pretty much the same without some spells, like I was missing some spells like the 4 spell and whatnot, and the B and the Z. Yeah, if you can see, I am pressing buttons. For example, I pressed X there by accident, did not do anything because of how my combo rotation works. I also do block it to right click, but it didn't do anything. Oh, come on, muscle memory. Oh, by the way, I kind of noticed in this phase right here that the targeting system is off. Like I was, see, like I wanted to hit the egg and I was hitting the boss, not the egg, even though the egg was closer. I have no idea if that is a targeting bug or if the boss hitbox is just so fucking huge that it went all the way over the egg. I looked up the settings. I couldn't find anything to get that to be fixed or Actually didn't find any setting to be different um, based on what I had already, so I have no idea. So I kind of rushed to level 16 and a half to get to chapter 17, and I can use flame build and as well um, the various spells that you can use. So you can swap between flame and wind, and every time you swap, you actually learn the specs. Like the entire spec, you learned again. Um, Changing the spell will change the icon as well. You change it clicking on the squares next to the spell that you want to change, and basically on screen are all the spells that you can change, like all the spec spells. The red book that are in the corner of each spec means that's your HM bonuses if you learn the book. For example, on Swift Strike, you can get increase like the green stuff you can see on screen if you learn the specific book for it. But the normal one will just give the base stat. In other words, they kind of nerfed it on the long term, but it's a buff for the early game, if that's a point, because you can actually use your spells well, but the actual good bonuses that you would get off the spell are removed from the actual build, at least up to this stage, if stuff doesn't change. Now, what else? My build right now that I recommend would be go for counter on the threat, not because of the threat factor, but like threat factor is a bonus, but still, you get a 1 second resist damage after a successful block, and that is as useful as your QE because it's an iframe after you block, so multiple hits get cancelled out after one successful counter. I remind you that your counter is a one hit only. I recommend your Z for stun, and basically Swift Strike on the first one. Second one is an AoE cone, so you got AoE damage in front of you, but it's less damage. And on Flying Slam, there is not too much choice right now. I will be going with the first one just because it's a 6 second. The rest are like ginormous cooldowns. Just gonna use it for gap closing, not for DPS. On Smite, you got two types of Smite. You got the 0-9 or the 4-9. The basically the knock-up version and the not knock-up version. I highly recommend you go on the first one because it's better. Okay, so thanks for watching. I will be warming up a bit on this game here, and I'm gonna attend my CSGO ranked thingy. So see you later. Let me know if you want to know something specific. That's about it.